The story with Michael began 3 years ago, and not at all romantically. I was looking for a part-time job in a foreign country and found it with him as an assistant. Michael had the first group of disability, and the job was to come in the evening to give food, turn on the side, in the morning to turn on the other side. For overnight stays, he had a separate room for assistants. At first I came once a week, then more often, 2-3 times. Over time I developed a liking and then a crush, which I weekly reflexed. He and I watched movies, talked a lot, and this job seemed very supportive because Michael tried to support me too. Sometimes I thought he was flirting, but it was probably just him being polite. Michael had accomplished a lot in the past. He had his own company, he was handsome, and even his disability could not take away his charisma and charm. For almost a year I felt in love with him, but did not dare to get closer, knowing that he already had a relationship with his assistant, and they ended with the fact that he spoke very badly about them. When he was taken to the hospital for a month, I went to visit him and realized that I wanted to try a relationship with him, no matter what. After he was discharged, he offered me to work for him as an assistant again. The flirting between us intensified. He read me a story in which a man with similar circumstances falls in love with a girl from another country. I couldn't resist asking him for a hug, and then we kissed. I was so happy, but I was embarrassed that he had other assistants sleeping over. He spoke well of them, they were younger than me. At that point, I found a steady job, started doing photography, and everything seemed harmonious. Soon he gave me a costume jewelry ring, and then, closer to February, he bought a real one and proposed. I said yes, but inside I felt uneasy. I thought it was a fake feeling on his part, that he liked other assistants and his girlfriend who also worked for him. I even developed jealousy. He was telling me that he was discussing with the assistants about their personal lives and who they were dating. It seemed suspicious, and one day I told him to find another assistant and gave him back the ring. I decided to leave him, to walk away. Then I was swayed in the other direction. Suddenly I texted him that I wanted to be with him for life. He replied that it was my own decision to end the relationship and suggested we take a break from each other and offered a pause. He was apparently more sober about our relationship. I didn't say anything back. I tried to get back into my life, worked, did photography. After a month he wrote, asked how I was doing, but I didn't answer anything. Over time, my feelings diminished, but I always kept the memory of him in my head. 3 months later, when I was feeling better, but still had affection and sympathy for him, and his birthday was approaching, I remembered. I decided to congratulate him. To my surprise, he was hospitable, and our communication resumed. Our love affair was rekindled. We had a wonderful summer. We went to his sister for the weekend, went to the countryside, drew pictures. Disability did not affect his functionality in terms of intimate relations, which for me was fantastic, and I was with him very well. But I was separated. Then I got kicked out of rented accommodation and I asked him for help. He had said earlier that he would like to try living with me. He disbanded the night assistants and I moved in with him with the stipulation that I would help tuck him in at night. But it turned out to be more complicated than I expected. My schedule was 12 hours, 2 days on 2 days off, and in the morning I didn't have time to turn him over to the other side, which made him lay longer than he needed to. On the weekends my sleep was intermittent because he would wake me up several times a night. Over time it became annoying. We started to have conflicts. He was picking on the little things, the way I cleaned, where I put the sponge. He didn't like my habits. He would ask me to leave the house when the day assistants came in because he had to do his needs. I thought he was being nice to them and kicking me out to be alone with them. Maybe I just thought that. I started checking to see who was visiting him. He said he'd lose respect for me if I did that. We had other fights, like when I saw him thanking some girl in a text message. He refused to show me exactly what he wrote and said that without trust nothing would work between us. We went to another city for Christmas, where he introduced me to his parents. But on New Year's Eve, a nightmare happened. He bought alcohol, including absinthe. I warned him that I had a bad experience with it. After a few drinks, I got aggressive, slapped him, wanted to look at his computer, which he didn't like. I ended up throwing his laptop and mine too. After that, he did forgive me though. Or maybe he didn't. We fought but then made up. In mid-January, he started an Instagram and added former assistants without telling me. I wanted to control his socializing. Or was it jealousy? I saw this by accident when I saw his communication. He only added me after I asked. It made me realize that he might be looking for a replacement for me. He woke me up 3 times a night, so I didn't get enough sleep, worked, and then helped him. I guess I just wanted to be a wife. I asked him to hire night assistants at least twice a week so I could rest. He said he'd work it out. But the next day we had another drink and he started saying nasty things to me. I was tired of his irritability. After one of his phrases, I just went out for some air without saying anything. When I came back, he stated that it was time for me to pack my things, that it was over between us, and he started insulting me. I anxiously endured that night, but his anger did not subside. I soon found a new place to live and moved in. I left my things at his place, agreeing that I would pick them up later. I was torn between guilt and suspicion that he was just looking for an excuse to get rid of me. I wanted to talk to him, but he refused. When I went to get my things, he had already hired a new assistant. He spoke to me softly, but probably only because she was there for me. I tried to apologize, but he was like a rock. The next day, I picked up my stuff. He never texted me again. 2 days later, it was February 14th. Not a word from him. Yes, and could I have hoped for a congratulatory letter? I'm gnawing at myself with an incomprehensible feeling. Maybe I lost my love because of my whims. And was it love? We just tried to live together without his great love. And at times I feel sorry for him, and it seems that no one can help him better than me. I can't understand why he kicked me out, didn't he? I keep thinking about what happened and can't find answers. Please, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. There are many more interesting stories to come. Thank you.